All right, so get this. Thailand's new prime minister,
Hmm.
Paetongtarn Shinawatra, elected just this past August, might already be in some hot water.
Oh, really?
And you're not going to believe what's causing the stir.
What's that?
A golf club.
Wow, a golf club? You'd think it'd be international relations or economic policy. That would be the big early headlines, not a golf course.
Right. So what's the deal? Our source is an article from the Ocean Worldwide Phuket real estate blog, and it lays out this whole developing story.
Yeah, so basically it boils down to allegations of a conflict of interest.
Okay.
A political activist has filed a complaint claiming that the prime minister violated a law that's designed to prevent corruption,
Mm-hmm.
specifically a law about how many shares government ministers can hold in a company.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't want someone in office making decisions that would line their own pockets, right? So what's the law and how the prime minister supposedly break it?
Right. So in Thailand, ministers can't hold more than 5% of shares in any company,
Okay.
precisely to avoid those conflicts that you mentioned. But until very recently, September 3rd to be exact, the prime minister held a 30% stake in this place called Alpine Golf and Sports Club.
September 3rd. That's just 2 weeks after she was elected.
Yeah.
That timing seems a bit suspect.
Exactly. It definitely raises eyebrows. And to make things even more interesting, just a few days ago, she transferred those shares to her mother.
Hmm.
Now, was this a strategic move to kind of distance herself from the potential controversy, or is it going to be seen as an admittance of guilt? It'll be fascinating to see how the public and, importantly, the Election Commission views this transfer.
Like if you're trying to hide something, the last thing you want is more attention drawn to it, right?
And you're thinking like a seasoned political analyst already.
Uh-huh.
And this case gets even juicier because it seems this golf club, Alpine Golf and Sports Club, is no stranger to controversy itself. It's not just some random fairway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the story there?
Well, we need to rewind a bit back to 1971.
Okay.
See, the land that the golf club sits on is a sizable plot, 732 Ray.
Hold on, Ray. What's Ray?
Good catch. That's a unit of area that's used in Thailand.
Okay.
It's roughly equivalent to about 1.6 acres, so we're talking a pretty decent chunk of land here. Anyway, back in 71, this 732 row plot was donated to a Buddhist temple.
A temple. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. How did a temple's land become a golf course? And how does this tie back to the prime minister?
Those are the million-dollar questions, and that's where we'll pick up in just a moment.
Okay, so we've got this prime piece of real estate, originally donated to a temple that somehow transformed into a golf course and tangled with the prime minister. I'm officially hooked. Lay it on me. How did this all happen?
Well, it's a bit of a head-scratcher. The land was eventually sold to Alpine Golf and Sports Club in those circumstances. Let's just say they've raised more than a few eyebrows.
Shady dealings? Backroom deals? Give me the dirt.
You could say that. Think about it. Prime land ties to a powerful political family whispers of irregularities. And here's the kicker. In 2017, a former leader of the prime minister's own political party, the Pheu Thai Party, was actually jailed for abuse of authority directly related to this land sale.
Wait, seriously? So this golf course has a history? And not exactly a squeaky clean one either.
Precisely. And this isn't just some ancient history, right? This all went down while the Pheu Thai Party was in power, a party with a long and at times controversial history in Thai politics.
Okay.
They're known for their populist policies and strong support base, but they've also been accused of corruption and authoritarian tendencies.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking about a party with some baggage, a land deal gone wrong, and now the current prime minister, who comes from this same party, is caught holding a significant chunk of shares in the very same golf club. This is like a political thriller.
It's quite a tangled web.
Yeah.
And I haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Remember those 13 petitions filed against the prime minister and her party? I mentioned them earlier.
Oh, yeah, those.
Yeah.
The ones alleging all sorts of shady business, right?
Well, this whole golf course saga, it's at the heart of it.
No way. So this isn't just about a prime minister and her shares. It's potentially a symptom of a much bigger issue within her party.
It's a good way to look at it. And it raises so many questions. Could this scandal, if proven true, damage her reputation beyond repair? Will it impact the stability of the Pheu Thai Party? And what about public trust in the government as a whole?
Yeah, it makes you wonder if this golf course land deal was so contentious. Why would the prime minister hold on to those shares for so long, knowing the potential fallout?
It's a fascinating question, right? Was it an oversight, a miscalculation, or did she simply believe she wouldn't get caught? Maybe she thought the transfer to her mother would be enough. Whatever the reason, it seems like a pretty big gamble.
It does. It's like she was playing a high-stakes game of political golf, and maybe she just hit a major bunker shot.
That's one way to put it. But remember, these are still just allegations at this point. Nothing has
know.
been proven in court, and the investigations are ongoing.
Right, right. Innocent until proven guilty and all that. But even if these accusations don't lead to any formal charges, the potential damage to her reputation, and by extension, her party's reputation, could be significant.
Absolutely. Public perception is everything in politics. And this entire situation really underscores the importance of transparency and accountability, especially in a democracy.
Couldn't agree more. All right, so where do we go from here? What are the potential implications of all this?
Well, to understand that, we need to zoom out a bit and look at the broader context of Thai politics, particularly in light of recent events.
Okay, zooming out, big picture time. What's the political landscape look like in Thailand these days? Help me understand why this whole golf course controversy is such a big deal.
Well, Thailand's had a pretty tumultuous few decades, politically speaking. I mean,
Right.
coups, protests, constitutions being rewritten. It's been anything but stable. And this most recent election, the one that brought our prime minister to power, was seen by many as a chance for a fresh start, a return to more democratic ideals.
And now this scandal hits. Talk about bad timing.
Exactly. There was this hope that maybe finally Thailand was turning a corner. But this whole situation with the prime minister, whether the accusations are true or not, it just casts a shadow over everything.
Oh.
It makes people question motives, wonder if anything has really changed.
Yeah, it's like, how are you supposed to rebuild trust when this kind of thing keeps happening?
It's a huge challenge. And the timing couldn't be worse for the PM and her party. They're trying to push through some pretty major policy changes, economic reforms, social welfare programs, things that need public support to succeed.
Yeah.
But if people are already feeling skeptical, if they're questioning the government's integrity, it's going to be that much harder to get those reforms off the ground.
It's like trying to build a house on a foundation of sand.
Right.
Not exactly a recipe for stability.
A very astute analogy. And that's why the story, as small as it might seem at first glance, I mean, it's a golf course, it speaks to something much larger. It highlights the fragility of democracy, the importance of public trust, and how easily that trust can be eroded.
Wow. Okay, so to bring this all back to our listener, what's the takeaway here? Why should they care about a golf course in Thailand, especially if they've never even set foot in the country?
Because it reminds us that these issues, corruption, power, accountability, they're not confined to one country or one continent.
Right.
They're universal. And understanding how they play out in different parts of the world, well, it gives us a new lens through which to view our own political systems, our own leaders.
So that's not really about the golf course at all, is it? It's about something much bigger.
Precisely. It's about asking tough questions, staying informed, and holding those in power accountable, no matter where in the world we live.
That's a really profound thought to end on. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. What other seemingly small stories are out there waiting to be unpacked? Stories that might reveal something deeper about the world around us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those why questions, and we'll catch you in our next deep dive.